Hey, it's Angel Vane, and this is episode 14 of my author's diary. Now, did you miss me last week? If you didn't notice, I did not post my weekly YouTube video last week, which is when I came back from my vacation to New York City. Every year I go to New York City for the US Open tennis tournament, and I flew back home on that Monday, which is normally when I would be posting my videos, but I was exhausted. And you know, people always joke about this, like, oh, you need a vacation from your vacation, but I absolutely needed a vacation from my vacation. So luckily I had taken Tuesday off, and I was like, okay, I'll get a chance to recharge on Tuesday. I'll do my video on Tuesday, get that uploaded, and then I'll stay on track. Yeah, so on Tuesday, I woke up and I was like, I literally did not feel like doing anything. I literally just laid around the house because I was so exhausted. This is what I do when I go to New York because it is very tennis focused. We have so many tickets to see all of the different sessions each day. So literally every day we're in Times Square. We get up at the crack of dawn. Well, not the crack of dawn. I do exaggerate a little bit. But we get up. We have breakfast and we eat a whole lot for breakfast to try to sustain us throughout the day. Then we go on down to the subway, get on the number 7, getting off at Met's Willets Point as we're pulling into the station, and you can look out to the right and you see the Billie Jean King Tennis Center, and it is just phenomenal. They're around 11:30, 11, whatever the time of the tennis starts, and then we're there all the way until the night session ends. Literally, with the train ride, getting back into Times Square and trying to eat dinner afterwards because we're so hungry. I wasn't going to bed till 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I had to turn around and do it all over again. Did I get any writing done while I was on vacation? No, I did not, because it was just enough for me to get enough sleep so that I wouldn't be falling asleep as I'm watching the tennis the next day. But it was amazing. Saw some great tennis matches. I actually am a huge Serena Williams fan, and so I was pretty disappointed with the way the final worked out this year. This is her 4th attempt to get to number 24, and she didn't make it again. And it's pretty disappointing. And on top of that, I work for a company that is headquartered in Canada, and the winner of the women's final was the first Canadian to ever win a Grand Slam tournament, like ever. So of course they were all excited and they were asking me, how was the tennis? Were you at the women's final? And I'm like, yes. Because their girl won and my girl did not win. So it's almost like rubbing salt in the wounds all over again. You know, we just have to keep pulling for Serena, and hopefully next time she can get to number 24. I thought that I was going to get a chance to write on my book, the sequel to The Accidental Hero, while I was in New York City, but yet did not find time to do it. And I think it was even better that I did not actually write on my novel while I was on vacation, because sometimes you need to really step back and get a chance to see the forest from the trees. And I feel like because I had been cranking away, trying to meet my September 1st deadline, I was just looking at trees. You like my trees? I guess I should have branches on my trees, right? Okay, so let me try to make some branches. Trees. These are the branches. Trees. And then when I finally got back in and started reading back through the things that I had been writing, I realized that I kind of hit a little snag. And I really started to pick up on some things that were not working with the plot that needed to work. Some of the motivations and the reasons behind the characters' behaviors wasn't hanging together. It wasn't making sense. And the last thing I want is for someone to read my story and be like, people in that situation would do that. That is so dumb. Nobody would do that. Like, that is my worst nightmare. I went back to the drawing board, and I'm still back at the drawing board. Basically, going back and extracting out certain things from the story, and then putting different things in, and then stitching it all back together. There's not going to be too much rework that needs to be done. Trust me. You want to know where your story is broken before you get to the end, because the revision process should really be more of a refinement than a complete overhaul. I'm going to take my time, go back through, fix some of the problems, and then finish off the last 25% of the book, and then get ready to revise. Yes! shooting for getting all of that done by October 1st. But if I don't get it all done by October 1st, told you what I was going to do, reassess, set another deadline, and then try to push to meet that deadline. After all that, I've learned it is really good to take a step away, allow yourself to have the vacation, recharge, get away from something that you've been working on so closely and intensely, give you a fresh perspective to look at something from a forest perspective and not just from the trees perspective. And you would be amazed at the things that you see and the perspective that you get after having stepped away from something that you've been working on so intensely. And the benefits far outweigh the time that you actually stepped away from the project. And that concludes episode 14 of my author's diary. If you want to keep up with me and all the ups and downs that I go through as I try to write and publish new books, click the subscribe button so you won't miss when I'm doing a video, and I will see you next time. Damn! Did I just do that from memory? What? Because normally I have this up on my computer. This is my little script of what I say at the end, and I usually have to read it. Not this time, because I went on vacation and everything gelled and I could just flow and say it without even having to read it. Bum, bum.